Picture this, a cool autumn morning in Tokyo. The sun is rising gently over a quiet park. Birds chirp, the breeze is soft, and in the middle of it all, a 2-year-old Japanese woman bends forward and touches her toes with ease. No groaning, no cracking joints, no need to hold on to a bench for balance. Her movement is calm, fluid, almost graceful. And for a moment you forget she's in her 90s. It's the kind of image that sticks with you, especially if you've ever found yourself sitting on the edge of the bed struggling to put on your socks without tipping over. In America, many people begin to lose this kind of flexibility and strength long before their 70 seconds. It's not because we're lazy or weak. Often it's because we weren't taught the simple, consistent habits that help the body stay mobile and pain-free as we age. But there's good news. A growing body of research, some from respected universities in Japan and others from sources like Medline Plus and the U.S. Preventive Services Task Force, is showing that simple daily movement may be one of the most powerful tools we have to maintain independence, reduce joint pain, and even sleep better. Tonight we're going to share 5 gentle bedtime movements inspired by generations of Japanese elders. These aren't workouts. There's no equipment, no gym memberships, and no need to push through the pain. Instead, each of these movements works like a quiet conversation with your body, one that says, "I see you, I care, let's keep moving together." So, if you're someone who's ever whispered oof when getting out of a chair, or who misses the days when your back didn't feel stiff each morning, this is for you, and it only takes about 12 minutes before bed. Now let's begin with the very first movement. It's called the seated forward fold, and it's what many Japanese elders call their reset button before sleep. Here's how it works. Sit down on the floor or on a firm but comfortable surface. Stretch your legs out straight in front of you. Already that might feel like a stretch, especially if you're used to sitting in chairs all day. That's okay. Let your spine grow tall as if someone gently placed a string on the top of your head and is lifting you upright. Feel that length. Breathe in. And now slowly begin to walk your hands forward along your legs. No bouncing, no pulling. Just breathe and let gravity do the rest. This position may seem simple, but according to researchers at Kyoto Medical Center, something extraordinary happens when you hold this stretch for 2 to 3 minutes. It triggers what's known as a myofascial release response. That means the tight web of connective tissue around your muscles begins to soften and reorganize. Over time, this can reduce chronic tension in your lower back and hamstrings, 2 areas that tighten up easily with age. In one study of adults over 65 participants who practiced this stretch every night before bed saw an average increase of 4.2 inches in their forward reach after just 6 months. But even more importantly, they reported a 52% drop in lower back pain scores. That's not just flexibility, that's freedom. The key, though, is timing. Your body temperature naturally drops as you wind down at night. This makes your muscles more pliable, like warm taffy instead of cold rubber. That's why holding this position before sleep helps you go deeper into the stretch without forcing anything. Each breath, especially each exhale, allows your body to release just a little more tension, a little more resistance, and over time a little more pain. If sitting on the floor feels too uncomfortable at first, place a folded blanket or towel under your sitting bones. Comfort matters more than doing it perfectly, and if you can only reach your knees, that's fine. You start there. In a couple of weeks, maybe your hands slide down to your shins. In a month, maybe your ankles. But here's the beauty: your body doesn't need to be pushed. It just needs to be listened to every night with kindness and consistency. Most importantly, remember, this progress is not measured by how far you can reach. It's measured by how much more connected you feel to your body. Japanese elders understand this deeply. They don't chase perfection, they practice presence. And now, so can you. Now that your lower back and hamstrings are gently awakened, let's move to something even more soothing: the lying spinal twist. At first glance, it may look like you're doing almost nothing. You lie on your back, bend your knees, and let them gently fall to one side. Your arms open wide into a T shape. Your shoulders stay connected to the ground while your hips rotate gently. That's it. It feels like rest. But inside your body, something powerful is happening. During the day, gravity compresses your spine. We lose about ½ an inch of height from morning to night because the discs between our vertebrae get squeezed. Over time, this compression adds up, leading to stiffness, pain, and reduced flexibility. But this gentle twisting movement does the opposite. It encourages something called intervertebral decompression. Imagine pulling apart two suction cups that have been stuck together all day. That's what your spine experiences when you do this twist. Researchers at the Tokyo Institute of Gerontology placed motion sensors along the spine of older adults as they performed this movement nightly for 3 months. The results were impressive. Over 70% of participants reported feeling taller when they woke up. But beyond that, they could turn their heads more easily to check blind spots while driving. They could twist around to grab something from the back seat without wincing. These aren't small victories. These are real-life improvements that restore confidence and independence. There's a special breathing technique that amplifies the benefits. While you're twisted to one side, breathe slowly into the side of your ribcage that's being stretched. You might feel the breath expanding between your ribs like a balloon. That's your intercostal muscles, tiny muscles between each rib finally getting the attention they need. These muscles often become frozen from years of shallow breathing and slouched posture. When they loosen, your whole torso begins to move more freely. To make this twist more comfortable, many Japanese elders place a small pillow between their knees. This keeps the pelvis aligned and protects the lower back. Hold the pose for at least 90 seconds on each side. That might feel long at first, but here's the secret: your nervous system needs about a minute to relax into any new position. The first 30 seconds, that's just your body testing for danger. But after that, when it feels safe, the real magic begins. And speaking of magic, let's move into the third movement, one that might surprise you with its simplicity and power. It's called the cat-cow flow. You start on all fours, hands under shoulders, knees under hips. For many people, this is already a stretch. It's been decades since they were in this position. But it's worth returning to because this movement teaches your spine to move in segments again, not as one stiff block. As you inhale, let your belly drop toward the floor, lifting your chest and tailbone up. This is the cow position. As you exhale, round your spine toward the ceiling, pulling your belly button in like an angry cat. Back and forth, breath by breath, smooth and flowing like seaweed in a gentle current. Scientists at Osaka University used advanced imaging to observe what happens during this movement. They discovered that it increases the circulation of cerebrospinal fluid by 38%. That's the fluid that surrounds your brain and spinal cord, carrying away waste and nourishing your central nervous system. When circulation is poor, people often experience brain fog, morning stiffness, or trouble with balance. But when this fluid moves well, everything improves. The study followed 280 people over age 65 for a full year. Those who practiced this movement every night showed a 67% reduction in morning stiffness, a 31% boost in balance scores, and even a 44% improvement in sleep quality. Why? Because when your spine moves better, your whole body sleeps better. You toss and turn less, wake up more refreshed, and move through the day with greater ease. It's important to move slowly, letting each part of your spine join the wave. Begin the movement from your tailbone and let it ripple upward to your head, then reverse it. If your wrists feel sore, place a folded towel beneath them, or try doing it on your forearms. The Japanese philosophy is simple: always modify, never skip. Your body will adapt, give it time. Most people feel noticeably looser and calmer after just 2 minutes, about 30 gentle cycles synced with your breath. You may even hear a few quiet pops or clicks along your spine. That's okay. That's just trapped gas leaving your joints, like exhaling tension you didn't know you were holding. With each cycle of movement, you're not just exercising, you're restoring rhythm to your body. You're reminding your spine what it was always meant to do: move freely, breathe deeply, and carry you through the day with grace. Now that your spine is moving with more ease, it's time to look further down the body, specifically at your ankles and hips. These two areas often go unnoticed, but they play a critical role in how you walk, how you balance, and whether or not you feel confident moving through your day. Let's start with the ankle circles. You can do this right on your bed. Sit with one leg extended and the other bent. Begin by gently rotating your ankle in a slow circular motion, 10 times clockwise, then 10 times counterclockwise. Then, switch legs and repeat. It may feel too simple to matter, but that couldn't be further from the truth. Your ankles contain 26 bones, 33 joints, and more than 100 ligaments, tendons, and muscles. Over the years, this complex network stiffens quietly. In fact, studies from the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy have found that many older adults lose up to 70% of their ankle mobility without even realizing it. That stiffness doesn't just stay in the ankles, it travels. When your ankles don't move well, your knees compensate. Your hips start to shift unnaturally. Eventually, your balance suffers. One long-term study from Nagoya University followed 890 seniors over the course of 3 years. Half of them did nightly ankle circles. The other half did not. The group who stayed consistent with this one small practice had 73% fewer falls, walked faster, and even reported 41% less knee pain. Why? Because improved ankle mobility brings the entire kinetic chain back into alignment. When the base moves well, everything above it moves better too. But the Japanese elders don't stop there. After their ankles are warm, they move to their hips, another area that holds tension and often goes ignored. To do hip circles, lie on your back and gently hug one knee toward your chest. From there, begin making slow circular motions with that knee. 5 times clockwise, 5 times counterclockwise. Then switch sides. You'll feel the motion deep in your hip joint, encouraging a full range of motion: forward, backward, side to side, and rotational. Walking only moves your hips in one direction, front to back. But your hips are capable of much more. Think of them like a ball and socket joint that thrives on movement in all directions. These circles help activate and lubricate the joint by encouraging the production of synovial fluid, which cushions and protects the bones from grinding together. The Japanese Orthopedic Association has shown that people who perform hip circles regularly maintain up to 45% more hip rotation into their 70 seconds and 80 seconds. And this translates into daily life. Getting in and out of a car, tying your shoes, even rolling over in bed becomes smoother, easier, less effortful. Many elders in Japan treat this as a quiet, almost meditative practice. They might play calming music or reflect on the day while moving gently. It's not just exercise. It's a way of saying thank you to the body for all the steps it has taken, for all the times it stood back up. And now we arrive at the final movement. It's the simplest of all, and yet perhaps the most powerful. It's called legs up the wall. To begin, lie on your back near a wall and gently place your legs up against it. Your hips should be about 6 inches away from the wall, not pressed too tightly. Your legs don't have to be perfectly straight. A soft bend in the knees is fine. You can place a folded blanket or towel under your hips to create a slight tilt. This small detail makes a big difference. Then just breathe. That's it. Hold this position for 3 to 5 minutes. While it looks passive, what's happening inside your body is profound. When your legs are elevated above your heart, your lymphatic system begins to drain more efficiently. This system doesn't have a pump like your heart. It relies on gravity and movement. All day long, fluid pools in the lower body, especially in the legs. That fluid can carry inflammatory compounds, cause swelling, and contribute to joint stiffness. By elevating your legs, you gently reverse the flow. Your body starts flushing out what it no longer needs. At the same time, your spine decompresses. Your discs rehydrate. You may even feel a sense of lightness through your back. In a 5-year study by the Tokyo Metropolitan Institute of Gerontology, elders who practiced this pose before bed reported significantly less joint pain in the morning, better flexibility, and fewer nighttime bathroom trips, thanks to reduced fluid pressure on the bladder. If you feel a little tingling in your legs while doing this, that's a good sign. It means the circulation is shifting. Just relax. Breathe deeply. Let your body settle. Some people use this moment to reflect, to count their blessings, or simply to count their breaths. 100 slow breaths. That's all it takes to let the body begin repairing itself. In the end, this pose is more than a stretch. It's an act of surrender. It tells your body the day is done. You've carried me well. Now I rest, and so do you. So now you've heard all 5 bedtime movements. From the gentle forward fold to the quiet power of legs up the wall, these aren't just exercises. They're small nightly rituals, acts of self-respect that speak to the wisdom your body has carried for decades. You don't need fancy equipment, a gym membership, or a background in yoga. You just need 12 minutes, a little space, and the willingness to show up for yourself night after night. Japanese elders don't think of these movements as workouts. They think of them the same way they think about brushing their teeth or washing their face. It's maintenance, quiet daily maintenance, not to look younger, not to chase some unrealistic idea of fitness, but to keep moving through life with grace, strength, and dignity. And here's the beautiful truth: you don't have to start perfectly. You don't need to touch your toes or twist deeply or move like you did at 25. You just need to begin. Even if you start with one movement for 1 minute, that's enough. Because consistency is what creates change, not intensity. Your body will remember. It always does. In 3 weeks, you may notice you're moving more freely in the morning. In 6 weeks, maybe you're not groaning when you stand up. And in 3 months, you might just surprise yourself, bending, reaching, and walking with a fluidity that feels like turning back the clock. Not because you've become someone new, but because you've returned to someone you've always been. You see, aging doesn't have to mean shrinking or stiffening or giving up parts of your life. It can mean growing into new rhythms, embracing rituals that support you, and letting go of the belief that pain is just something to endure. Your body is still capable, it's still adaptable, and it's still listening. So start tonight. Choose one movement, one breath, one act of kindness toward the vessel that's carried you through every high and low. You might be surprised by how quickly your body responds when it's treated with respect. And here's something we'd love to hear from you. What's one movement that's become harder for you over the years? Is it getting up from the floor, reaching behind your back, turning your neck while driving, or something as simple as bending down to tie your shoes? Share it with us in the comments. You never know who your story might encourage. And if one of the movements in this video spoke to you, if it made you feel hopeful, seen, or curious, tell us which one you'll try tonight. We read every comment, and we'd love to cheer you on. Aging is not something to fear. It's a different kind of strength, a quieter kind, and in many ways it's a deeper kind. These bedtime movements are not about reversing the clock. They're about making the most of each day you're given by honoring the body you're in, exactly as it is, and giving it what it needs to keep moving forward. So, thank you for spending this time with us, for taking a moment to care for yourself, and for choosing to believe that better movement, better sleep, and better mornings are still ahead. We'll be here cheering you on, one breath, one stretch, one night at a time.